Listen, the struggle bus, the struggle bus is real. Hello, hello, hello. What is this? Hello. So, I am logging on. However, the struggle bus is real. And the destination is right at my house. Yes. Hi, cuz. Good to see you. Hey, guys. How's your Sunday going? So I have two cameras and I'm trying to work both of them. And like I said, the struggle bus is real. I'm going to need like a technical director. I'm going to need a graphics designer. I'm going to need just a lot of people who knows about the technical things. Because I sure don't. I sure do not. How's your Sunday? How's your Sunday? Judith, are you home? Are you at work? What you got going on? So we didn't go to church today. We did church online. And we did TD Jakes. We woke up late because I was up very late last night just doing some random stuff. And yeah, we didn't get up early. On my way home from work. That's nice. That's very, very nice. I'm glad you're able to jump on for the live. I'm waiting to see if a few other people will be able to come on. So we went to get my son a haircut. We went to get Isaiah a haircut. And then we went to the grocery store, and that took way longer than I expected. But we had to come home. We had to start cooking, not the real Jamaican rice and peas now, the Americanized version, with the canned beans or the canned peas and the canned coconut milk. Yeah, the Americanized version. Hey, Dean, how are you? What you up to this evening? Are you home? What do you got going on? Yeah, so like I was saying, we went to the supermarket, we went to get a haircut, and we came home trying to cook, trying to jump on to this live. I'm like, wow, this is a lot. I did not expect to be, rushing like this, but here we are. Here we are. All right, guys. We're talking about relationships, just having dinner. Nice. What you having? Are your sisters there? We're talking about relationships. And as we have said before, relationships can be very, very tricky. And so I'm trying to navigate the ones I've been having and some of the ones that are no longer active. Because even though people might come and go in your life, there's always a lesson to be learned. What are the lessons that we're taking away from the persons who coming in our lives? And we just want to talk about them. Want to talk about them. I can't have dinner yet. I have to wait until we're done to have dinner. So let me know what you guys are having. What are you gonna have, Judith? Are you gonna cook? Is somebody gonna cook for you? What are you gonna do? Let me know. Let me know. And like I said, Dean, I had to do the Americanized version of rice and peas, but I'm sure you don't do that. I'm sure you do, the real authentic version that your grandma, your granny, and everybody else taught you. So let me know. Let me know what you're having. Hey, everybody. Happy Sunday. Did you guys go to church? Did you watch online? Did you do face to face? What did you do? Did you just stay home? Bedrock and pillow assembly. I don't know what that is, but I'm just saying it. What did you do? I had to try to convince Isaiah, my son, not to be in this room. Had a heavy lunch today. Wow, look at you. You're very, very good. A heavy lunch, so she's gonna have fruit and snack. I take my hat off to you, man. It's hard these days for me to be good. I've been overeating, and people are gonna say, "Oh, what are you talking about? I don't see any overeating. You don't know what you're talking about," but I do know what I'm talking about. I can see it. Not everybody can see it. So I've been overeating. So even if I do have a heavy lunch, I'm going to have a heavy dinner. But good for you. Good for you, Judith. Yeah, I cook for myself too because Isaiah, he can only make like cereal. Okay. So, snapper and brown rice and salad. Wow. I haven't had that kind of fish in a while because I'm afraid of the bones and I don't have the time. I don't have the time really to pick them out because when I go to eat, it's eating time. It's not time to do all of that, like, to take the bones out. I don't have I don't have time for that. So, where's Arlene? I'm waiting for Arlene to come on. She said I have to let her know when I am on. Yeah, he will because I have I've started putting him by the stove when I'm there, and he'll do eggs. What else does he do? Like he'll do pasta, and I'm letting him stir the pasta, and he's very helpful. He's very helpful in the kitchen, so I like having him around. So I know for real he will cook later on for me. Let me see where the people are. Hello. Hi, April. We're talking about dinner. Didn't you make dinner, April? What did you make? And I'm telling the people that I have not been very good. Last week how we did. We did we did very bad last week. Pizza jalapeno bread. Pasta, just more carbs upon carbs upon carbs. It was not good. No veggies, no vegetables. Mm-mm. And so here we are. That pizza was good. That pizza was so good. Hey B, we're talking about dinner. What you got going on? Did you cook? Did your husband cook? Who's doing the cook? April? Mm-mm, shame on you. I'm gonna tell your mom. What did y'all do? I was telling everybody I made the I made the Americanized rice and peas with a can. Yeah, that's how we do it. That's how we do it when we have. What? And your mother knows this? You haven't cooked in years? What do you do, ma'am? What are you doing? Your husband cooks? Oh man, I need somebody to cook for me. I'm taking applications right now. Who wants to cook for me? I am taking applications. I'm not too fancy. Oh, wait, she said she married a chef. Does he have a brother? A cousin? Somebody who can cook too? Man, you go, girl. I like that. I want to say that someday. I have not cooked in years. That's like music. April, I know. I want a chef too. Somebody to cook for me like all the time. All the time. And I don't have to be rushing, to do the can gungu and the can what do you call it? Milk, coconut milk. I don't have to rush to try to get it done because I have to go live on Facebook. Man. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. We're all good. We're all good. We are all good. Well, y'all, I don't want to keep you guys on too long, so we're just gonna jump on in. Like I said, I've been learning a lot from not just my present relationships, but I'm learning a lot from my past relationships. And I wanted y'all to come on this journey with me because by no means am I at a place of like total healing. But I wanted y'all to come on this journey with me because I think it's important for us to tell our story. Because if it's just one person that we can help, if it's just one person that can know, you can lose people, you can lose a relationship, you can lose your sense of security, but you don't have to lose all of your mind. Now, at some point, I think I lost a part of my mind, but I want to help y'all out, or I want to just talk about how not to lose all of your mind, right? So, as you guys know, I got married and it was a long distance relationship at first. Hey, I'm not gonna say Miss West, except I just did. Hey, Kamisha. So, as you guys know, I got married, and it was a long distance relationship, and I think one of the biggest challenge is when you're in a long distance relationship, a lot of things are not discussed. And so when those things are not discussed, um, you get into that relationship with a lot of expectations on both parts. So you're expecting stuff, he's expecting stuff from your backgrounds. I mean, you have totally different backgrounds coming in. And so, you both grew up differently. And so you don't always have the same values, even though sometimes on the outward appearance says you do, but the reality is you don't always have the same values. And so just going into that marriage, it was very It was very, I wouldn't say I was scared at first, but I got very scared right after the wedding. Like it was very scary for me, especially some of the conversations that we would have and like some of the things that would be said. I'm like, what? Okay, I think I did mention this in one of my other videos where, I had just come to the States and he lived here for a while. He had been going to that church for a while. And I'm like, yeah, this is my first day and expecting that, he's going to be like a security blanket for me, or he's going to be, just we are going to be partners in crime or whatever. And that was just not the case. That was not the case. The moment I came here, I felt very alone. The moment I came here. Because, like I said, that first night when we got here, well, when I got here, my flight was delayed like maybe about 3 times. The flight was delayed maybe 3 times. However, I kept communicating to him like, hey, this is what's going on. This is where we're at. They said we might not leave for a while. So it's not like I wasn't saying anything. It's not like he didn't know that I was being delayed. And then when I finally got to the airport in this the city where he is, he was not there. Like it took him an hour to get there, and it was like 10 minutes away from the airport that he lived. So I'm like, but that's very strange though. That's very, if you're excited to see somebody, it had been, it had been a long time. How long had it been? It had been a few months that we didn't see each other, and we were newly married. And not being there to meet me at the airport, that was very telling. And so at the beginning, I did feel very, very alone. Alrighty. So this is the disclaimer. I am not a relationship expert. One. Two, if you are married or if you are in a relationship, I am not telling you to leave your spouse. Let's get it. Is this thing on? Testing. Is this thing on? I am not telling you to leave your relationship. I am not here to do that. I am not here to point out flaws in your relationship. I'm not here to, try to get you to see things my way. I'm just here to tell you my story. I'm here to tell you what happened, and I'm here to tell you that you might go through dark times, but those dark times do not have to take over. And a lot of times we have hiccups in our relationships, but we don't address them. We don't address them, and that usually causes a very, very big problem. Alrighty. So I want to let you know I'm not bitter. Like I said, I got divorced a couple weeks ago, and I'm not bitter, and I don't want anybody to jump onto my bitterness bandwagon. It's not here, not over here. No, thank you. Not to say, I did not go through my period of bitterness. But I'm not there anymore. I am not there anymore. And I think it's like the grieving process. It is a grieving process. And so you go through different stages, the anger, the blaming, the denial. You go through the different stages of grief. When you lose any relationship, whether it's a marriage relationship or a friendship, it doesn't matter what kind it is. If it was a genuine relationship, there is a grieving process. And so I did go through that period of being bitter. Like I didn't want him to call my phone. Don't call my phone, man. Don't call me. Because I'm not going to answer. How about that? Yeah, I'm not going to answer. But I've moved past that. I have matured. Look at God. Yes, I have matured. And so I'm not in a place where, I blame him. I'm not going to say, oh, he was at fault for everything and he did this wrong and he did that wrong. That's not what this is about. I'm not here to dog him out. I'm not, or for those, of the older population, I'm not here to make him look bad. I'm not here, to make myself look good. Because I'm not. I'm not the one. I am not the one. No, I made mistakes too. We both made mistakes. And so I have a few points that I wanted to share with you on this first official podcast. Like these are the keepsakes, and that's why the name is what it is. Kiki's Keepsakes. So thank you for tuning in to Kiki's Keepsakes. So the first one is, are you living your abundant life? When you look at yourself, when you look at your relationships, and when I say relationships, I'm not talking about like a romantic relationship only, like your friendships, like that very close friend that you have, your siblings, your parents, like different ones that you have to interact with on a daily basis, like your children. Are you living your abundant life when it comes to your relationship? Think about that. That abundant life that Jesus talks about. Does your relationship, does it lead to sanctification or separation? Does the relationship lead to sanctification or separation? So I don't think I was living my abundant life. When I moved here, I had become a housewife, and in my mind, I was content with being a housewife. Because guess what? One day, your sis was kind of lazy at some points. I didn't want to really work because I didn't want to deal with all the people. Because Kamisha knows that I was coming from a workplace that was not very, very healthy. It was not a healthy working environment, to say the least. And so I just wanted to stay home. I just wanted, to take care of my husband. I wanted to take care of the house, because I can cook. I can throw down and I can clean. Like if you want your house clean, no, let's not say that, because remember I was taking applications for the chef. So let's not say I can cook for you. No. But if you want your house clean, like really, really clean and smelling not just like bleach, I'm your girl. So I was content at that point to make a home for me and my husband. I was content to do that because I thought that was my role at this point, because this is what God, this is what he made happen. So I was thinking, this is where I'm supposed to be. So I was content. However, I was taking care of the house, taking care of my husband. But I don't think I was taking care of my relationship with God. I don't think I was, because I didn't spend that quality time with him. I was very busy. Like I said, very busy doing all the stuff, but I did not spend that quality time with the Lord. I'd make sure the house was spotless. I'd make sure the baby was clean and, he was learning. I was teaching him because, like I said, that was my role. And I was going to do everything I needed to do to make sure that I did it the best I could. I was a perfectionist at that time. Now I'm a recovering perfectionist. And so I gave 110% every single day in making sure the house was clean, food was on the table every time he came home, and all of that. But it was a bit challenging when he left, because as soon as I came here, he had to go to Korea, and I was left. So it's very jumbled. I'm not telling the story in a chronological order. But when I just came here, he had to go to Korea, and so I was here in the States by myself. I was here by myself and pregnant. I was here and pregnant, and I didn't have a lot of friends. I'd go to the church that he was a member of, and I had joined the praise and worship team. And I thought I was doing what I was supposed to do, but I was not in a place where I was deepening my relationship with the Lord. And so, like I talked about, sanctification or separation. Everything that we do, if we say we're gonna be a housewife, if we say we're gonna be a podcaster, we're gonna be a teacher, we're gonna be a lawyer, whatever it is, whatever it is, we have to decide. If we say, we belong to God, is this thing, what I'm doing, is it leading to sanctification? Is it making me more like God? Is it making me more of who he designed me to be? Or is it leading to separation? Taking me away from who I truly am, who I was designed to be, and the role that I was created to, take up. So Kevisha said it was the worst workplace. You ain't right. It taught you patience and diligence. That's what it did. But like I said, the things that we're doing, is it leading to sanctification or separation? So for me, it led to, I would say my relationship led to separation, because I got very consumed in ensuring that I was doing the right thing for my husband. I was doing the right thing for my child. I was pleasing them, right? I had no longer become, a significant part of the equation. Like, my needs were not important. Like, I was just on autopilot, just going, doing everything that I had to do for both of them. And I was not in a place where I was, maintaining my identity. So I did not know who I was. I became Kamasha's wife, and I became Isaiah's mother. Like, I was not in the equation anymore, in the sense that I didn't know what I liked, I didn't know what I wanted, or anything like that. And so it became very sad, and I didn't even realize that was happening. It was like being on autopilot. You don't get a sense that, oh, something is amiss, something is wrong. You just keep going until one day the bottom falls out. And that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened for me. So in your own life, you might be teaching your babies the ABCs. You might be teaching them, the main values that you want to impart. You might be doing that. You might be doing everything you can for your children, for your husband, for your best friend, for the people around you, for your mother, for your father, because we live other people's dreams. We don't live out our dreams a lot of times. Like this right here, you might know or you might not know that I'm not like the most open person. I don't talk about my feelings. I don't like to do that. But here I am. And so I'm being my most authentic self right now because I know that I have a lot deposited inside of me that I need to get out because I've been quiet for a very, very long time. And now I'm getting to that place where I don't want to be separated. I don't want to be separated from God. I don't want to be separated from who He created me to be. I want to be at a place where I'm being sanctified. I'm being changed. Not being immature. Because some people here might know about me being immature. I was very, 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 very immature. And so I'd let my feelings lead me, but I'm not I'm not there anymore, but I can say, "Oh, I have arrived." I cannot say that. I cannot. Alrighty. So, let me try to follow my notes here. Um Are you having quiet time with God? If you say that you're trying to build a relationship with God, are you having quiet time with God? Are you being refueled? Are you being filled up after you've poured out into every single person? Because as women, and it's women that's here, you pour out into so many different persons, but are you being refueled? Are you being recharged? Or are you catching up, on the latest series on Netflix? And I was guilty of, just binge watching, and it's 3 a.m. I need to go to bed. Yeah, I've been guilty of that too. But you cannot be recharged by tuning into your latest series, or just getting things from places that do not fill you up. So if you want to be filled up, you at your core, you have to draw from something that is substantial. You have to draw from something that, is not going to give you like a hype for a few minutes or whatever and then leave you hanging. It has to be something that's going to truly, truly fill you up. And I think in me getting married, I was getting older. And I'm like, yeah, I've been saved for a while. So that's the next step. And that's what they teach you. When you get saved, you come to church, you read your Bible. And if you're a young girl or a young man, you get married. That's what you do. They don't tell you, that, oh, there's a scripture in the Bible that says if you get married, you will experience a lot of trouble. Yes, that's in the Bible. That is in the Bible. If you get married, because Paul said it is better to marry than to burn. But if you do marry, you will experience a lot of trouble. Ain't nobody quoting that part of that scripture. Ain't nobody quoting that part. And so somebody should have told me that you are in for a lot of trouble. But I digress. So, are you experiencing separation in your relationships? So think about the different relationships that you are a part of right now. Are you experiencing separation or sanctification? Are you being, ripped away from who you are at your core? What does that relationship do for you? Does it, make you crazy? Like it puts you on that crazy wheel? Because a lot of our relationships do that. And we don't know how to get off the crazy wheel. So, sanctification or separation. The next thing I wanted to say is Paul, he did talk about it's better to marry than to burn. I know that I was burning when I got married. If I'm just going to be honest, let me just be honest. about everything. Yeah, I was burning because I had gotten saved. I'd gotten saved, and it had been a few years. I had been in the church. I was a good girl. Bianca knows. I was on the youth ministry. I was on the women's ministry. I was on singles ministry. What else was I doing? I was doing everything. I was on every single ministry that would take me except the marriage ministry because I was not married. But I was in the choir. I was in the adult choir. I was in the youth choir. I was there every night almost. And so I was every kind of ministry. No, we didn't have sign. Drama, every ministry. We did it all. Because, that's what you do. You're a good girl. You get saved. You get involved in church. And you love the Lord. And you wait for your husband. Come on now. Do I have a witness? Yes, you wait for your husband. Or you wait for your wife if you are a male. So, preparation. A lot of us, when we are getting into different relationships or when we are about to go into a relationship, we don't think about preparation. The relationship that you're in right now, is it preparing you for your next level? The next level in your career. I know some people are studying, you're transitioning your career. Are your relationships, and then let's specifically talk about the romantic relationships now. Are they pushing you to a place where you are being prepared for your next level? And again, as a disclaimer, I am not a relationship expert, neither am I telling you to leave your husband or your wife if you're a male, or I'm not telling you to, look for flaws in your relationship, but is your relationship preparing you for your next level of where God wants you to be? So is it for preparation or for desperation? Preparation or desperation? I was feeling desperate when I got married. Like, oh my God, I'm about to be 30 and I've been saved for a while, and no, I need to get married. That's what I need to do right now. So I was, just sitting and waiting to get married. I was desperate. And so I was not thinking, okay, are you prepared for marriage? Are you preparing yourself for the person who is going to come into your life? Because I didn't have eyes for Camacho. We didn't meet before and anything like that. So it wasn't like I was scoping him out. Matter of fact, Bianca, Michaela, and my girls, they know I was scoping out somebody else. And then when we would go to the prayer meeting with the guy, and he did not even know I was alive. Yes, I was watching Dream Girls Will Never Leave You. Listen, Dream Girls was my movie. Yeah, I was not preparing myself, right? I was not, building myself up in my most holy faith and getting to know who I am, what my likes are, what my dislikes are, maturing so that whenever that person comes, I can recognize crap when it's, thrown at me early. But it was not for preparation. It was not for preparation. So for me, I needed somebody to be there with me out of desperation. And are you at that place? Are you saying to yourself, oh, I need somebody to be with me. I just need somebody. I just need to have a relationship. It doesn't matter how he treats me, how they treat me. And this is across the board now. Our friendships. It doesn't matter how they talk to me. It doesn't matter that, they don't make time for me to talk to me on the phone. It doesn't matter that, when I'm presenting my issue or I'm feeling, some kind of way, or I'm feeling sad or burdened and I want to talk to my friend about it, my friend does not want to listen to me, but in turn wants to tell me about all of the things that they are going through. Am I desperate? Am I desperate just to hang on? Because I think that if I lose this person, I'm going to lose either my babysitter, I'm going to lose my only person that I can get a ride with, I'm going to lose this person that, is going to cook for me, or whatever that person did or are doing for you. Is it desperation or preparation? Are you being prepared? Is that person pushing you into your best self? Are they pushing you in making yourself better? Or if you want them to log on to something that makes you better, they're like, oh, you don't need that. You're fine. You don't need to watch that. You don't need to listen to that. Oh no, you don't need to read that book. That book is for people who, have real problems, or people who are at a different place or stage in life. But are you thinking, if I break this relationship, nobody's going to want me? Oh yeah, those thoughts do come, especially when you're over 30. Like, oh, I have to stay in this relationship. I have to stay in this situation because, one, I'm too old to start over. I am not financially stable to start over. I won't have, that person to talk to at nights. So it doesn't matter how they talk to me. They don't mean it. They're just joking. They don't mean it. No. We have to in our minds decide, is this person, is this relationship pushing me into preparation, or am I sitting at a place of desperation? So we have to decide. And y'all, you can jump in. Hey, Mrs. Tracy. Where's Mrs. Tracy? Is she on? Hi, Nikisha. Yeah. So the first keepsake is, look at your relationships. Are you being challenged by that relationship? Is it for sanctification, or is it causing you separation? And then the next keepsake is, this relationship that you're in, the persons who are around you, your friends, your siblings, the different kinds of relationship, is it preparing you? Is it for preparation, or is it for desperation? Hi. Okay. So for me, I know that I was sitting at a very stagnant stage. Like I said, I had joined the praise and worship team, but when I was very, very pregnant, the pastor was like, you need to sit the praise and worship team out. You need to sit it out. I'm like, okay. I didn't mind, because I don't know, the baby was sitting somewhere on my, I don't know, somewhere. But it was hard for me to sing when I was pregnant. And so I didn't mind him saying, oh, you need to step back, or you need to not be on the praise team right now. But I didn't feel like I was being prepared for any kind of next level. I wasn't being prepared, and I wasn't preparing myself. I was, like I said, I was just in a stagnant stage, not doing anything and not trying to be anything except the best wife and the best mother. And that's dangerous. That's dangerous when we lose our identity and we cannot we cannot see past I'm this person's mom or I'm this person's wife. Who are you outside of that? How many minutes do you sit, with God, like I said before, to get refueled? How many minutes do you take for yourself to say, I enjoyed doing that today, or I enjoyed how that made me feel, so I'll do it again. No, we're usually on autopilot, and that's a very dangerous place to be. I had made my family my everything, and like I said, that's dangerous. So the next point is it that your relationship is restoring you? Is it restoring you to a place of wholeness? Is it making you holy? Is it making you wanting to be better? Yeah, yeah. We have to, Bianca. She's saying that we have to have an identity outside of our roles at home, and I didn't, because when I went to the play groups or whatever, I was just Isaiah's mom. I didn't do anything for myself. And to this day, I can count on one hand how many times I've spent the night away from my son. And that's not healthy. It is not healthy at all. Yeah, I can count on one hand how many times I've slept away from the house, he's not there. So, for me, I wanted to have a good relationship with my husband. However, I don't think I was doing all the things that I needed to do to have that good relationship. It wasn't so, and I think a lot of women don't know or know, but it doesn't make a lot of difference to us that it takes more than just having a good meal on the table. It takes more than, being available to him physically, or it takes more than that. You have to make yourself emotionally available to your relationships as well. And your friendship. Like I said, when I say relationships, I mean all of your relationships. It's not just that. Yeah, you worry about what people will say about, yep, you worry about that. You think, and like I said, desperation or preparation. You're thinking, people are going to say, but she just got married. How is she getting divorced? Or how come they're separated already? Or just different things. Different things go through your mind. And so you do not put everything that you're supposed to put into it, or you don't act in the way that's going to make your relationship better. And so, like I was saying, for me, so you cannot be praying, God, you need to change him. You need to change that person. That person is the problem. And you can't be going out to buy all the books. Hey, honey, you need to read. Let's read this book together. When they did not even initiate any of that, nor do they want to read that book. So you have to do not just the stuff at home or the stuff that you think will make that person better. You have to make yourself better. You have to look at yourself to say, okay, when this person does that, I react in a specific way. Why do I react in that way? And it's not signing them up for another class because you want the pastor or the relationship teacher to give them the information you think they should be getting, because I did a lot of that. I'm like, hey, they have this class at the church. Let's go to that one. Hey, look at this book right here. Yes, let's read this book together. And he read the first 2 pages, and that was it, because he did not want to read the book. But at the same time, when we started experiencing some really, really challenging just communication stuff, I did all of those crazy things. All of those crazy things. And then I'd pray. I'm like, oh God, I need you. And that's my prayer voice. Oh God, please just do this or make him do that. God is not gonna bless your mess. God cannot bless your mess, especially if we are not at a place where we're submitted to God. Because let's not start talking about submission, because that's another time and a place that's not here. But we have to be submitted to God, because you cannot be talking crazy to the people around you and then you're praying, oh God, help me. No, he's not going to help you in your mess. You need to change the things that you're saying, change the things that you're doing in that relationship before God can even step in to do anything. And so that was one of my biggest problems. I would pray, oh God, I need you to help me. And then, your attitude is not right. You know when your attitude is not right. You know when your attitude is not right. And so one of the things I was telling even like a client the other day, just because somebody does something doesn't mean you have to react to whatever they do in a negative way. Like, you have to learn how to control your own self. You can't control anybody else but yourself. And so if somebody talks crazy to you or is disrespectful to you, you do not have to be disrespectful in turn. And that was one of my biggest things. I was like, I can be respectful to anybody once they're respectful to me. And that is not right. Where you see that in the Bible? Where you see that? What chapter is that in? No. If somebody is disrespectful to you, you still need to be respectful to them. And that was hard for me. I am still learning that when somebody is rude to me, I don't have to be rude to them. That is, you pray for me on that one. Because I'm like, who you talking to? I need Jesus. I need a little more Jesus in that area, because you don't talk to me crazy and think that, I'm just going to be, oh, okay. No. Nope. No, thank you. So let's take it back. I had to be restored to God. I had to get to a place, and that happened just maybe a few months ago. I had to be restored in the sense that I had to know who I was, first of all. And when you know who you are, like, people can talk to you crazy. People can act crazy towards you. But when you know who you are, like, it does not matter what people say. It doesn't matter how they reject you or not accept you. You know where you belong, and you know where you're going. And so you do not allow their behavior to diminish who you are. So, I'm not telling anybody, like I said, to leave their husband. I'm not telling anybody to, create problems in their relationships. I'm just asking you to look at the different things that are going on. And if at times we see that where we are with that person is causing more damage, is causing us to act in ways that is not our authentic self. Because man, I did a lot of things that were not me, for real, for real. And no, you should not allow people to make you act out of character. Like, if you see that you're starting to act out of character, you have to step back to reevaluate where you are and what changes you need to make, or what conversation you need to have with that person, because it only gets worse. It does. It gets worse. And so, don't separate and stay. Because I did. In my mind, I separated because of the things that were said to me, the things that were done. Like, for example, when my husband went overseas, and like I said, I was pregnant, I did not hear from him. I would be calling. I'd be like, hey, did you remember that I was here by myself? Like, people would be asking, oh, I guess you guys are on the phone every day and you're showing him your baby bump. Nope, I was not. Nope, I had to be there, trying to keep it together. And it was at that time, like I said, God cannot bless your mess. It was at that time when I would not be hearing from him. I would be telling him, like, hey, it's fine. Like, if you have changed your mind, that's fine, because I can raise this baby on my own. I would tell him that, like, constantly. Because if you're going to be off doing whatever you want to do, it's okay. I can raise this baby by myself, but you cannot separate in your mind and still stay in a relationship. You have to decide, am I going to separate permanently, or am I going to stay and work on the issues that are there? I am going to talk it through. So I separated in my mind. I said it earlier. You cannot separate emotionally and still think that things are going to go, hunky dory. Things are going to be fine. You cannot separate in your mind, but you have to separate from certain mindsets. The mindsets that do not bring glory to God. Like I was saying before, somebody talks crazy to you, you don't have to talk crazy to them. You have to separate from that kind of mindset. And so is your relationship, is it becoming more intimate? Because people coming in our lives for different reasons. Once again, I'm not telling you to leave your marriage relationship, but we have to look where we're at. We have to look where we are at and decide, am I going to continue living at an unhealthy place when I know either it can be so much better, or in your heart, this is not where you are supposed to be. Hey, sis. Hey, Keisha. In your heart that is not where you are supposed to be. 1,000%. And it's drawing you away from God. It's drawing you away from who you are. And you have no joy. And that was me. I was walking around. I wouldn't laugh anymore. And I love to laugh. And I wouldn't laugh anymore. And I would just be depressed. Like, I was in a very, very bad state of depression. And so Don't separate in your mind and still have those people around you. Work on what is happening. Work on the issues. If there are things that need to be talked out or talked through, you have to work on the issues. So you cannot separate in your mind, but you have to separate from the mindset of the things that do not bring glory to God, the things that do not look like that abundant life God has promised, and the things that do not push you into that abundant life. So if you feel drained every time you talk to that person, or you're dreading going home, or you're dreading every time you see that person's number come up on your phone, it's time to reevaluate. It's time to reevaluate, because if you have been, and so this is for persons who are married now or in a relationship. If you have been nagging that person about it for a few weeks, for a few months, a few years, it's time to stop talking about that and change the mindset and do something different. Because if you keep nagging and it's not working, it's not gonna magically change. Like they have said that one definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. It's not gonna happen. So if you keep calling your friend and they're like, oh, I'm gonna call you back, and then 2 weeks later they don't call you back, don't think that it's not going to keep happening, because we allow a lot of things to happen. So if you're nagging about it, if you're talking to the person about it and it's the same result over and over, you have to change your mindset and you have to change your strategy. So I think our culture has been ingrained, that if we keep fixated on the problem, if we keep talking about it, if we keep, nagging the person or mentioning that thing, it's going to change soon. Eventually it's going to get to that person and they're going to change, but it's the opposite. Like human nature is the opposite of that. If you keep talking about something over and over, and it's not working, it's not moving, it's not changing, then it's time to move on to a different strategy. If we keep nagging about an issue, it will start to discourage a person. And I had to learn that, that just because you keep telling that person, you need to this and you need to this, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, it's going to discourage somebody. It's going to discourage a person. There's no way that you're going to keep saying, oh, do this, do that, you're not, and they not get discouraged. So we're talking about restoration. If we want to restore our relationships, we have to change our mindset, how we address certain things, how we, respond to certain problems, and how we navigate the conversations about the hard things. Because sometimes it's hard. Like, it's hard to learn a new way. It's hard to learn a new way how to do things, because we are people and we like the comfortable. We like doing things a certain way. So do you want restoration in your relationships? If the relationship is so important to you, if it's, you believe that it's a root, it's not one of the branch relationships. If you believe that this relationship is a root and it is a God-ordained relationship, there must be restoration. You have to look at the areas in which you guys are not functioning at a place of your utmost best. You're not being your best with that person, and that person is not being their best with you. If that is the case, then we need to reevaluate and we need to work towards restoration, right? So sometimes we need to apologize. I have learned the art of apologizing. It comes easier for me now, but before I was not. I said not the person who apologizes, but it comes easier for me now. You have to swallow your pride sometimes if you want restoration to happen, and if you want transformation to happen. You have to swallow your pride and you have to apologize. And I know, some of us as women, our mouths can be, quick and sharp. And we do not think that the things that we are saying in the moment, or, we don't think sometimes the effect that it's having on the other person. And remember, we're talking about relationships or friends or siblings or sisters or brothers or children or mothers or fathers, the different ones, cousins, friends. We are not thinking of the effect that our words have on others. So like I said, I was not here to make it seem like Kamasha is just the worst person in the world and he did all the wrong and I didn't do anything wrong. No, I did a lot because my mouth, oh, jeez, my mouth can be very sharp. And so we have to be cognizant that the words we speak often, it does carry a lot of weight. So we have to be careful with our words, with everybody that's around us. We have to be very, very careful. So just to recap, we talked about our relationships. Is it leading us towards sanctification, or is it leading to separation? Separating us from who God created us to be, separating us from God, from our authentic self. Is that person, that relationship's just separating us from our true selves? Or is it making us better? Is it making us, giving us that wind beneath our wings that we need to be more and be better? We talked about desperation. Is it out of desperation that you're in that relationship? Do you think that you cannot find another babysitter if that person leaves? You won't find anybody to take you to work, anybody to pay your rent. I'm too old to start over. Is it out of desperation, or is it out of preparation? Is this relationship preparing you for your next level? Is it, giving you the tools, the push that you need to be better, to go into your destiny, your God-given destiny? Is it doing that for you? Preparation or desperation? And we talked about working on restoration or separation. Sometimes, you have no business being around certain people. Like certain people, their time has expired in your life. And you keep holding on because of different things. Like Judith had said, you're worried about what people are going to say. You're worried that you're going to be at a deficit. You can't start over. It's too late for you to start over. But sometimes there needs to be separation. And there also needs to be restoration in a lot of our relationships. Especially with family members, those who are closest to us, there needs to be a lot of restoration based on the words that we said, the things that we have failed to apologize for, the things that we have left just floating in the air. And we can't, like I said, we can't separate in our minds like, oh, they did this, and you keep all the stuff that the person did in your head. You're keeping it in your head. They did this, they did that, and that time. But they call you next week. Hey, you want to go out? Okay, sure. Nope. You either have to separate or restore. You have to work it out. You have to work out all the things that are, floating around, or the underlying stuff. And a lot of times there are things we need to apologize for. So we can't just apologize and not change the behavior, because that's another problem in itself. You have to apologize and change the behavior. Well, guys, those are my keepsakes. The things that I've learned from that aspect of my life. And I want to hear from you guys. I'll send you the info to my website. And I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really, really appreciate you. Appreciate your time. And I'm going to ask you guys to share with somebody who you think, needs to hear these keepsakes. And thank y'all. Bianca, Keisha, Judith, Nikisha, Kamisha, April, Julianne, and all the other people. Thank y'all for coming on, and hopefully I'll see you next week. Hopefully I'll try to get my my cooking done early, so I won't have to use the canned beans. And I can make some real Jamaican food for my son. But thank you guys so much. Each week we'll have different topics that we're going to talk about. And we already have two co-hosts lined up. So if you want to be a co-host, if you have something to say, y'all, just let me know and we can make it happen. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you, and peace out.